Hello students, in this module we'll be studying about the last topic of your chapter, that is the cell division. Fine. So see students, mainly we are having two types of cell division that occurs inside our body for our growth, repairment, for the formation of sperm in case of male, and for the formation of egg or ovum in case of female. Now you can see here the first process we are having, or the first type of cell division, that is mitosis. Fine. This one is the mitosis, student. This mitosis division takes place inside the somatic cells. Now except sex cells, that is the testis in case of male and ovary in case of female, except these sex cells, each and every cell that is present inside our body is somatic cells. Fine. So mitosis occurs only in somatic cells. Fine. For the growth, repairment, cell enlargement, cell differentiation, cell regeneration. Now the next process, or the cell division, next type of cell division we are having is meiosis. Now this is the cell division which helps in creating the gametes. Fine. For example, the sperm cell you can see here, they are released by the testis. Fine. Similarly here you can see students, human egg cell. Fine. Or we can say the ovum. This is released from the ovary, which is a gonad cell. I hope I am clear to each one of you student. See, in your syllabus we are having just the concept, so we need not to go in detail. Now look here. You can see students, mitosis division has been shown here. Look at this picture. You can see two cells are there. Fine. Now each having the identical DNA. Fine. They consist of identical DNA. Now exactly what happens in case of this mitosis process, student, that one cell divides into two daughter cells. Fine. And each daughter cell, it contains the identical DNA to the parent. And this mitosis always occur only in the somatic cells. Fine. Not in the sex cells. Now, so you can see here students, the end product of this mitosis is formation of two daughter cells. Now see, this one is the process of mitosis. Fine. You can see here, right hand side of yours with the red color. So this is a parent cell. Fine. If mitosis occurs, obviously mitosis will occur. So due to this process, it results into the formation of these two daughter cells. Fine, which are diploid in number only, contains two sets of chromosomes. Now you can see here student, this was all about the mitosis. We'll be studying its significance later on. Along with this diagram, here it is shown here, the process of meiosis. Fine, so we'll be studying the process of meiosis now. Look here now. See, meiosis is the process, student, by which the reproductive cells, or we can also call them gametes, they are formed. And what are these gametes? Male gamete, that is sperm. Fine. So testis releases these male gamete, that is sperm. And female gamete is ovum, that is released by the ovaries. So the formation of these reproductive cells, or we can say gametes, they takes place, or these gametes are formed only with the help of the process that is known as meiosis, that takes place inside the gonad cells. Fine. Now students, very similar, it is very similar to mitosis. The only difference is that meiosis is a reductional division. Fine. Because here the cells divides twice. See, talking about the look here, the previous picture. See, you can see here the one single cell divides only at once. Fine. Which results into the formation of two daughter cells. But talking about the meiosis, so you can see here, see, one cell divides into two in meiosis 1. Fine. And this again divides into two. So we are having how many daughter cells here? 4. Fine. So one cell से कितना daughter cell मिला हमें? 4. So we can say 4 sperms are formed. Fine. With the help of this meiosis 2. This takes place inside our sex cells only. I hope I am clear, students. And similarly, this takes place inside the ovary also. Why? In order to form the ovum, fine, in case of female. So, in case of meiosis, students, gamete have half the number of chromosomes of body, that is the somatic cells. Why? Because it divides twice. Now, students will be studying about the significance of mitosis. Why mitosis is important? See, first of all, for the growth, because it allows a zygote. Zygote is a structure, students, that is basically formed from the fusion of male and female gamete. Now, how does this male and female gamete have formed? With the help of the meiosis, fine, which takes place inside our sex cells. Now, it allows a zygote to produce more cell in order to grow, because after the fusion of the male and female gamete, the zygote is formed. Fine. Now, the zygote has to divide continuously to form the fetus or to form the embryo. Fine. So, with the help of which process it can form the embryo? Of course, I think you are absolutely right, with the help of the mitosis process. Fine. Now, second we have is the repair and replacement. See, students, our body needs to grow. Fine. So, it helps us or we can say it helps the multicellular organism to maintain its tissue. For example, our skin cell has to be formed continuously. Fine. Because dead cells, they keeps on removing from our body. Then the blood cells also. Fine. RBCs, for example. So, these cells are forming only due to the process that is mitosis. Fine. Now, students, mitosis, when it happens in case of asexual reproduction, it gives rise to a clone. Fine. Now, what is clone here? It is the exact copy of the parent. Fine. एकदम exact copy जो होता है parent का वो बनता है यहाँ पे. For example, you might have studied the binary fission in amoeba in your class 8th. Fine. तो उसमें क्या था, एक complete जो parent body है, that is the amoeba, it divides into, with the help of two division, it divides into it, or we can say it gives rise into two daughter cells. Fine, which are the clone, exact copy of the parent. Now, this was all about the mitosis. Fine. Now, we'll be studying the difference between the mitosis and meiosis. Fine. See, you can see the first one we are having is that mitosis occurs inside our body. Fine. Obviously, it occurs inside our body cells except the sex cells. And talking about meiosis, it occurs in our sex cells. Second, we have is, students, always remember, one more important thing, students, that mitosis is an equational division. Now, why it is an equational division? Because it results into the formation of two daughter cells, which is the second point you can see here. And in the third point, it is written that they have same the number of chromosome as parent cell. Fine. So, equational division. But talking about meiosis, it results into the formation of four daughter cells. Students, in case of male, these four daughter cells represents the sperm, and in case of female, these four daughter cells represents the ovum. Fine. Now, they contain half number of chromosome as parent cell. That is why, and because meiosis actually takes place twice. Fine. So, that is why they contains the half the number of chromosomes. Usually, we are having 23 pairs of chromosomes. Fine. But in our sex cells, we are having 23 number of chromosomes only. So, अब now half the number of chromosomes हो गया. Fine. So, it means it is a which type of division? Reductional division. Fine. And meiosis, it basically helps us in the process of sexual reproduction, and mitosis, it helps in the process of asexual reproduction. Individual, they basically undergo the process of mitosis to form the exact copy of the parent cell. I hope the topic is clear to each one of you. Fine. Thank you, everyone.